make sure that you can't talk really loudly, really consistently for a whole 10-minute period or something like that. Okay, so those are the first two. Then the next idea is we need more capacity. We need more relays. You guys should run some relays. And a lot of people that I talk to are thinking, well, capacity is obviously the number one problem. If we just get you more relays, then Tor will be faster. And it's true, if we get more relays, Tor will be faster. But if we don't solve the first two, then getting more relays is not going to help us as much as it should. If we don't solve the fact that we do congestion control wrong, and we don't solve the fact that the bulk transfer users are just going to fill up whatever capacity we get, then it's not actually going to make Tor faster for the web browsers. So what can we learn from this? We actually have a little lesson that we can learn from the Iran thing in June, where we see. So this is a map of the number of relays we've had over time, from 2006 up to a spike in beginning of 2008, and then a drop-off, and then a huge spike in the middle of June 2009, when a lot of people said, hey, I have to help all those people in Iran actually be able to get their word out, and we can make Tor faster if we run more relays, so let's set them up and find out. So does it actually make Tor faster when you get more relays? So here's the same map of the number of the latency of fetching this 50 kilobyte file over time from June 10 to the end of June. And it actually, the latency starts out around 10 seconds, and then it ends up around 7 seconds. So actually, yeah, Tor does get faster if you add more capacity. And now we're looking at the same thing for the 1 megabyte file, where it starts up here at 70 seconds or something, and it goes down to 50 seconds. So maybe it is a really worthwhile thing to do to add more relays. Originally, we were looking at the economics argument and saying, no, if we add more relays, then the file sharers will just fill them and then it won't get any faster. But actually, it does get faster, both for the file sharers and for the 50 kilobyte people, and for the web browsers. So that's certainly a worthwhile thing to do. I'd really like to solve all three. I'd like to solve the congestion control problem and the unfairness problem, or the fairness problem, and the capacity problem. And then, so there are a bunch of other pieces to how do we get more capacity. We've been doing a lot of advocacy. Jake and I keep going to random places all around the world and saying, let me teach you about Tor, let me teach you how to blog safely, let me teach you how to stay out of jail while still changing the part of your world that you want to change. Should we set up mailing lists just for the operators so they can talk to each other about, I'm getting DDoSed, I got a visit from the law enforcement people, I found this nice guy at the FBI and I started talking to him about Tor, whatever they have to say to each other. We've also been setting up an easy website script called Tor Weather, where you go to the website and you add in your email address and the hash of your relay. And when your relay goes down, it'll send you mail and say, hey, it's down. Because we get a lot of people who happily sign up Tor relays and they're all helping out, except their computer rebooted a day after they set it up, and Tor didn't actually start up, and they have no idea. So they think they're being helpful, but turns out they're not. So if we could provide better ways to give them feedback, then we'd be in a lot better shape of having more capacity. So there's another thing to look at here, which is what countries are providing a lot of the relays? Where is this capacity coming from? And here's the same graph we saw a few slides ago, broken down by which countries we're looking at. So Germany was the one that spiked at the beginning of 2008, and then over the last year and a half, it sort of fell off, especially throughout 2008. Is that because all of you guys are scared of the data retention laws and you don't know what they mean? Yes, no, I hear in the audience. Certainly that's worth discussing more. So another thing to point out, the US was basically where all of the nodes showed up in the middle of June. So it was basically a lot of people in the US who were thinking to themselves, I really want to go help out with people. And then another data point to look at, France really jumped up in the early part of 2009 due to their fine HAR laws, the 3 strikes from the recording industry and you're off the internet for a year, caused a lot of people in France to say, well, wait a minute, what the heck, I thought my government was a reasonable free country. So there are a bunch of different things that we can learn about how the Tor network grows and how to encourage it to grow. And another thing to think about for capacity, incentive mechanisms. Wouldn't it be great if we could design something into Tor where the more relaying you provide, the faster Tor is for you. So if you set up a relay, then suddenly you can get your web pages or your MP3s or whatever faster than you could before. And there are a couple of problems with this. The first idea we had was a simple gold star design. So the idea is the directory authorities measure your relay and see if you're actually providing performance. And if you are, then you get a little gold star in the directory. And anybody who has a gold star gets priority. They get preferred service from all the other relays. And we did some simulations of this, and it actually works great. The people with the gold stars get pretty consistent service no matter how many BitTorrent users we add into the network. So that's exactly what we want. There's another approach to this based on micropayments, digital cash. The idea is all the people who run a relay are given coins, eCash, and if you run a relay and somebody connects to you, then they pay you a coin to build a fast circuit, and that means that it's just like an economy. It'll work great. You can collect money by being a relay. You can pay money in order to get faster Tor. There's one problem with both of these ideas. If there's a big list of all the people who deserve better service, and I see you connecting to my website and you have fast service, then I go take a snapshot of the list of relays that are up right then. And I say, I don't know who you are, you're anonymous, but you're one of these 1,800 people. Next week, you come back to my website and you log in again. I take another snapshot of the list of relays at the time. I don't know who you are, but you're one of the intersection of this group of people and this group of people. And if this keeps happening over time, maybe that set shrinks down to 4 people. We don't have a good handle on how quickly that set would shrink down, but that makes me really uncomfortable. And intersection attacks show up all over the place in anonymity research. They never have any good answers. So it would be really great if we could come up with some way to reward people by providing relays. But on the other hand, if we're presenting, here's the list of the people who are getting fast service, there are some really bad anonymity attacks there also. So maybe we'll solve those and we'll be able to provide some sort of tit-for-tat design. Why don't we just make you a relay by default? We've got, 200,000, 300,000 clients and 1,800 relays. And the way that you become a relay is you download the client and then you click, I want to be a relay. Shouldn't that just happen automatically? Shouldn't everybody who signs up for Tor be a relay? There are 2 sort of categories of problems with that. The first one are basic engineering stuff. I want to be able to figure out if you're actually reachable. Maybe we need to do something with your NAT. Maybe we need to do UPnP. More and more NATs are turning off UPnP. We want to figure out how much bandwidth you've got. We want to figure out if you're reachable. If you stay reachable over the course of several weeks, then maybe you're worthwhile to turn on. Those are just engineering problems. They're hard, but we can do those. Then there's the anonymity problem that I don't have a good handle on. So there are a bunch of attacks these days under the general category called congestion attacks, where if I get to relay traffic through you, then I can figure out, I can do better attacks against you. So the basic idea is, let's imagine you're connecting to some website and you're sending traffic back and forth a lot. If I can relay traffic through you, then I just fill up your pipe as much as I can, and I watch to see whether that other connection slows down. If it does slow down, then I was right. It really was you. So I can do this congestion attack to check, to verify that you were the person making that other connection. And if you're not a relay, if I can't relay traffic through you, then